Hi, my name is Brad Paquette. My wife Melissa and I are the founders and directors of the School of Kingdom Writers. Thank you so much for watching this video. I just need a few minutes of your time this morning to talk about a really important topic. So, we have this problem in America, and that problem is that our entertainment media is just broken. It is just so dark and divisive. And we as Christians, it's time for us to stand up and do something about it. And every Christian that I talk to, no matter what denomination, what background they come from, we all see this. We all instinctively feel this brokenness that is just infecting America right now through our media. And so part of this problem is that right now, this month, the month of November, about 73 million Americans will give $8.99 or more to Netflix. And just as part of their subscription. And Netflix is going to use that money to create more of the kind of content that they create. They're going to create more streaming programs that are full of graphic sexual content, nudity, and every kind of darkness that you can imagine. And they're going to flood our homes with that kind of thing. So here's my question. What would happen if we invested that same kind of money into Christian media? I mean, what would happen if we took this seriously? If we put our money where our mouth is, so to speak, and invested that same money in Christian content creators instead of secular content creators? So that's what I'm asking you to do right now. I'm asking you to invest $9 this month in the School of Kingdom Writers. Now, we are training writers and content creators who are producing amazing content and putting that out into the world. They are publishing books, they are creating blogs and social media content, podcasts, all of this media that Americans are consuming. We're training writers, content creators to produce that stuff and to produce it in such a way that it reflects the values of the kingdom of light. To produce it in such a way that it brings the gospel to Americans. So, when I'm asked to invest in like a ministry or to give to a ministry, I always have two questions. My first question is, what specifically are you going to do with my money? That's a great question. So if you give to this campaign, we are specifically going to use that money to pay for labor and materials for our campus building. So we have purchased, by the grace of God, it's a kind of an amazing story, but we have purchased this vacant building in downtown Zanesville, Ohio, and we have been completing projects on that. And so we need additional funding in order to make that available for our students. Now, God in His great providence and mercy has provided a temporary space where we have crammed students in for now. But we have a call to help more students than what we presently have on site, and so we need to expand to a larger space. And so when you give to this campaign, we're gonna use it specifically for labor and materials for that space, so that we can bring more students in, so that we can be raising up and training these students to produce great content, to get connected with the Holy Spirit and do it the right way. The second thing that I always want to know when I give to an organization is, how does this actually solve the problem? And so as I kind of addressed a little bit earlier, we are raising up writers and content creators who specifically create media that floods our media spaces with the light and the values of Jesus Christ. So all of the things, all of the movie franchises that you love today, all the TV shows you love today, no matter what you're consuming, podcasts, YouTube stuff, it all starts with a writer. There's a writer sitting at the end of, if you track that back to its creation, there's a writer sitting there, and it's those writers that really perpetuate the values and ideas that are dominant in our media. And so we are specifically training up writers who are creating books and short stories and all kinds of content today that will become dominant cultural narratives in the future. So you are planting a seed in young writers who are getting connected to the Holy Spirit and are going to live out a whole life doing this thing, so that our children, I have got 5 kids, the oldest is 12, so that when they are my age, they're going to look back and say, remember when Christian media was just a bunch of cheeseball Christian fluff and it was terrible? I mean, look at what it is now. Christian media is the dominant market force right now. Christian media is leading the way in the marketplace. And shouldn't that be how it is with everything? We carry the Holy Spirit. Everything we do should be better than what the world can do. And so let's make it happen. Let's invest together. Let's come together as a whole church body, the country over, and begin investing in Christian and kingdom media the way that we invest in secular media. Imagine what God can do with those willing hearts. So today I have a simple request. Will you give $9 to the School of Kingdom Writers? Will you help us move into this larger space so that we can bring more students in and just increase the rate at which we're seeing the marketplace flooded with exceptional Christian content that asks the hard questions, content that talks about the real God, and content that always glorifies the King. So thanks for watching with me today. Thank you for considering this. Thanks for letting the Holy Spirit just prompt your heart. We really appreciate your support.